All right, y'all. Here we are with another episode of Tevin Talks. We here with my guy Erick Brundidge.
Yizzo.
How you feeling, man? How you been?
I'm chilling, man. I've been cool. You know how it is. Kick back, lay back.
I hear you. Man. I see you've been making a lot of major moves. A lot of moves. I see you've been moving a lot. What's going on?
Working, baby. You know what I mean? Just really just pushing the brain, grinding, training, like everything that is necessary, to get the job done, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, that's what we on.
I feel you. So but you're not even originally from Green Bay. Where you originally from? E?
Nah, I'm from Philly. Throw them peas up, baby.
Okay, Philly, man. Meek Millie, stand up.
Yes, sir.
Is it true that everybody is a Meek Mill fan, or most people are Meek Mill fans in Philly? Is that true?
Man, look, I'm going to keep it a buck. I say like 99.9%. For
Hey.
real.
Shout out Meek Mill, man. Meek Mill, my favorite rapper, by the way. So, man, I get it. So what brought you here? What brought you to Green Bay? What brought you here?
I mean, chasing the dream, man. Like just working hard, just chasing that dream, like, playing ball and, just having that mindset of just going after it rather than just sitting back,
Yeah, really getting after it, man. It's crazy because I remember when you first, not when you first got here, but when I first met you, we actually ended up meeting through a third party and stuff like that, and actually ended up connecting and utilizing each other's resources and actually developing a solid relationship from there. Football is a huge passion, and we've had those discussions. Like, football is a real huge thing for you. How has football been used to get you to this point in your life?
Well, football, man, like the perspective of having to be responsible, the hard training, the practices, it just creates this mentality of holding yourself accountable and being responsible. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, you can't take no plays off, right? You know what I mean? Like, shoot, you can't take no days off in life either, So I was able to transition that mentality just into life in general. So I see everything as like football,
Right.
And
I got you.
like just the demand of what it requires for you to excel on the field and transitioning that to off the field. Like, that's really kind of enlightened me just in life to want to accomplish like just goals and milestones that, I set in front of myself personally.
Right. Yeah, I can attest to that because even with basketball, like, you develop that consistent habit of working hard and getting after it and waking up, and those same attitudes, like, that develops you and it sticks with you for a while, especially when you do it for such a long number of years. Like, even for me, like, I be up early as hell, and like, some people like, man, how do you do that? And you work and you got this business and you do that, and it's like, yo, like, in college, I'm used to waking up at like 4 a.m. and then going to class and then going back to fucking practice and then waking up again and going on the road. Like, that shit follows you everywhere you go, and you start to build those habits. You know what I mean? So, I get what you're saying on that. As far as football, you've been doing a lot of stuff in Minute Connects on a professional level. Can you tell us a little bit about who you've been in contact with on a professional level?
I've been in contact with a variety of guys. One of my guys, Martez Wilson, definitely a good dude. I got my boy Elliot Taylor. I mean, shoot, the list goes on, man.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, man, I don't even know where to start, but it's a lot, bro.
Yeah, I mean, even some of these guys have had your brand on too. I've seen some of these guys are rocking your brand, put it on their social medias and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people are a huge fan of your brand. I got quite a few pieces myself. You know what I mean? I got quite a few pieces myself. So I get it. So you got football and you started a brand. Talk to me a little bit about the brand. What's the name of the brand? How did that come up?
The brand is called Life Love Incorporated. You live life, you love life, you incorporate yourself into your life because you matter.
Yeah.
It's not just a movement. To me personally, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I feel like those three words, they trigger everyone differently.
Yeah.
Regardless of who you are, you was blessed on this beautiful earth to live a life.
Yep.
And regardless of who you are, you want to be valued. You want to be appreciated. You want to be loved.
Yep.
And it's up to us, to incorporate ourselves into our lives, you know, like
Yep.
we all been put here for, you know, our own particular special purpose, and it's up to us to find that purpose. So when I talk about the perspective of it being a lifestyle, it's about, you know, what we talked about earlier, holding yourself accountable and, you know, chasing after what you believe in, you know. So that's where the brand came from, man. And since then, bro, like it's really resonated with me. Like I take it personal, you know, like I can't be sitting here talking about I want to do this or I want to do that, and I'm sitting back not allowing myself to get it done, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's another thing. Like, I run into people who got, like, some really fire-ass fucking ideas. Like, I swear to God, like, I run into people who got some fucking just tremendous-ass ideas, but the execution is fucking terrible.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? So, it's at the end of the day, you can have all these fire-ass ideas, but if you can't execute and get up and get after it, like, you know what I mean? It's just like a waste of talent.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there like that. So I get what you're saying, man, when it comes to that. I understand that you draw all your own logos. Like, you hand draw all of your own shit. Like, how do you do that? Because not only do, like, you draw your own shit, but you also, like, do a lot of the creation of, like, your tees and your shit like that. Like, how did you think of that type of idea, like that type of design with the logo? Because your shit's been blowing up. Like, how did you come up with that type of idea to hand draw that?
Well, I mean, I was just trying to be original, you know, because, like, I mean, it's easy to, you know, you go through Photoshop or you can, you know, utilize your computer and stuff, but I feel like it gives you more meaning, like, when you do it. Like, you know, a wise man said, if you give a man a fish, you know, you eat for a day. But if you teach a man a fish, you eat for a lifetime.
Yeah.
So I wanted to learn the back end of everything, you know. Obviously, you can use a computer and everything, but it's like, yo, why don't I put, like, more thought and my spirit into this? Because I feel like when you do something and you put a lot, well, you're all into it, it becomes a joy and a passion.
Right.
So, you know, that's kind of what I did. Like, you know, for instance, like with Fro Boy, you know, like, obviously, you know, I got long hair, you got long hair, you know what I'm saying? But the perspective was, like, just to be original. Like, you know, like, everybody wants to do certain things, but if you're going to do that certain thing, make sure you are original at what you do. Yeah. So, you know, that was the meaning behind Fro Boy, and it just, you know, gelled or dwelled on me, like, yo, like, hey, yo, start drawing, because you could draw, you know, have fun with it. And
utilizing all your skills.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because with my my logo for the podcast, all right, I actually bit a little of that idea off of thinking about your logo.
That's dope, though, bro.
I swear to God, I'm like, because I'm like, yo, like, this shit is dope. I'm like, you know, I really like the fucking Fro Boy drawings, like, you know, the Swole Muscle T drawings, like, because, like I said, I got quite a few of your shit myself. Like, I done bought plenty of shit too. So, you know, I really like the simplicity in the sketches. Like, it was simple, but it was creative. So I'm like, fuck it, man, I like it so much. Let me kind of try my own little spin on it, man. So real shit. So my podcast logo, I really got that from thinking about your brand and your logo dope, and shit like that. So it's fucking dope, man. Last year, you ended up throwing a fashion show, one that me and my fiance was a part of. Mind you, like, I have never been a part of no fucking fashion show in my life. So that was a new trend. I remember when it first was brought up to me, I was like, nah, man, you know, but you know, I'm all about supporting my people and shit. So I was like, fuck, like, if I'm really gonna do this, like, I gotta really be about what I'm talking about. So I remember, like, I got you connect. I'm like, yo, like, you know, I'd still love to do it. If you love to have me, if you got somebody cool, and you're like, nah, man, you know, I love to have you. So we ended up doing a fashion show, and I'm glad I went through that, because not only was it a dope ass experience for me and my fiance, but that was something that was huge. That was one of the biggest things that had. Especially on the fashion tip, no one has ever done something on that scale. And people still talking about that shit till this day. Like, I run into people that be like, yo, I want to do a fashion show. Yo, I want you, like, I want you on my shit too. And I'm like, yo, like, I'm not no model. Like, that was just for my mans. But, you know, I do what I can. So on the back end, like, how much work got put into that? Because it was a lot of shit. Like, you had a lot of materials for us. Like, we was going to rehearsal like 2-3 times out of the week. Like, how much work was put in on the back end for that?
First and foremost, man, shout out Surrender and Slay. Definitely, we just dwelled in a lot of work in there. But the work that was put in, man, just long hours, sleepless nights.
Yeah.
But it was fun though, like it was one of them things where it's like, yo, you know what the purpose is for,
Yeah.
you know the vibe, like, the main goal was just to make everything fun and keep it like family oriented. Like we were all a family and holding everybody accountable, like, hey yo, come on, you gotta be on time for practice, or you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And I mean, a lot of people don't know on the back end, like, normally I don't really talk about this stuff, but like I would say about 70, almost 80% of the things that were in the show was handmade by me. You know, just different designs and just even, cutting out the vinyl and putting it all together. And it was a lot of work, but it was fun, so I never really like was mad or like, oh damn, I gotta do this. No, it wasn't like I gotta do it. It's like I want to kind of.
Yeah, like you're looking forward to it type shit.
Right. Yeah, man. And I definitely appreciate you and your fiance for even attending and being a part of it, man. And it was a special thing. And I'm also working on another one, man. I definitely
oh shit!
That, so
oh shit!
I ain't want to release that too soon, but it's in the works. Trust.
Okay, another fashion show on the way, y'all. Another fashion show on the way. Like it was huge. Like it was unique because for me, in my perspective, like the inside of the design, like it was inside 920. Right, like you had the light set up, you had your photographers, you had the music, like you actually, and you hand did and designed the walkway too.
Oh yeah.
You did a lot of shit by hand, like, and a lot of people don't know that. Like you really put in a lot of work, and that's the perspective that I want people to understand, is like the amount of work you really put into that whole transition from rehearsal to the clothes to the walkway to the setup to the music. Like everything was really really carefully planned and plotted, you know what I mean? So like I said, people still talk about that shit to this day, and I was happy as a part. Like at first I was fucking nervous as fuck but I'm glad I did, because that's just one of those situations where I can look back and be like, yo, like I was at a fashion show, like it was some dope shit. So yeah, man, nobody's ever done that. So definitely be on the lookout for the next one. For sure. I remember you saying you wanted to do one in your hometown Philly too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's something that I was working on too. It's just kind of got to see how COVID play out, man. I actually had a location established and everything. Yeah. COVID kind of came around, and it kind of wasn't comfortable with, the amount of the audience that I wanted to bring.
Right.
So that's definitely still something in the works that I want to get done and establish. But, it's kind of got to see how the virus and everything play out. So.
Right, absolutely. That's put a damper on quite a few things. But, everything will work out. With the brand, Zoomies, you had to connect with Zoomies too.
Absolutely, man. That's something in the works too. Okay.
Did they originally try to buy your brand out? Didn't they?
College.
No.
In college, man.
Okay.
I ended up meeting with a district manager back in Philly, and this is when I was like in Westchester. So. Yeah. They gave me a little offer. I'm not gonna say that offer.
Yeah. Keep the numbers on the low. Keep the numbers on the low.
But no, I was like, man, you know what? Like, I just feel like it's so much more that can come of this. Literally, to be honest with you, I'm drawing day after day after day. Like, that's a hobby of mine. I enjoy it. So, even when I'm feeling different kind of ways, I'm still drawing. And that's another thing that I really didn't mention. Like, the characters, they have their meanings behind them, but the different meanings are just off of our emotions. Because everybody's gonna feel. Mad, happy, sad, angry, curious, and, all of these different emotions, because we people, we humans.
Absolutely.
And, those characters trigger on my own feelings, and I try to put myself into other people's shoes, because when you do that, you see things from a different perspective, and, it alters your paradigm, because you're able to sympathize with people and understand them more, and, that's kind of what I did with the characters, so... that was definitely one of the things that I was really proud of, as far as, kind of being a little, out there outside the box with the characters. So
Yeah, man, and I think there's a lot of the characters are like fun in a sense, like and I think that because they're like fun and they're unique in their own way, like it makes a dope design because it really allows you to get real creative with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, even for my logo, like shit, that's what gave me my idea about the shit. Like, people really like my logo. I'm like, well, shit, I got the idea from, Life Love Inc. Incorporated. So,
your joint dope though, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. When I seen that joint, I was like, hey, that joint cool. And man, another thing, bro, like life is a journey, bro. It's not a competition. And I feel like a lot of people, they don't think about that. Like it's really just a beautiful journey. And as the journey unravels, you meet different people and opportunities present themselves. So like, I mean, I was, I'm thankful that I was able to shed some light on your journey, what you're doing, because I mean you shed some light on my journey too, man. And I definitely appreciate that, man. For real, it means a lot.
Absolutely, I be saying this shit a lot. Like, there's enough money to be made out here. Like, we ain't gotta be gimme, mine, stomp. Like, we can all get money out here, and there's enough money to be made out here. And when people be on that, capitalistic gimme my shit, like, that's the shit I don't really rock with, because there's enough money to be made out here. Everybody can eat. Everybody can have a seat at the table, but as long as just have something to offer when you pull up. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody just finna give you that motherfucker. Like, if you want to sit at the table, because we can all eat, just pull up and have something to bring to that motherfucker. Thanks. You know what I mean? So that's why, like, even when we first met, I'm like, shit, man, I got a lot of resources of people that I know. Like, let's see whatever I can help you with or who I can put you in contact with.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like seeing, like, you eating and you getting money doesn't fuck with what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and like, I plan on putting a parallel too, but it's not like me helping you is going to fuck up what I'm doing.
Right.
Like, you can eat too. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? Like, we can help each other eat at the end of the day. And that's another reason why I created this podcast, like, to get, black businesses and people who I really fuck with to get their story out there. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? To get them to the audience who may not know about Life Love Inc. Incorporated. You know what I mean? Right. Who may want to buy your shit or want to know who he is. So that was one of the main reasons why I ended up starting this shit, because it's like, this is for the people.
Right. That's dope, man.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad that, you came on where you could really let people know, like, this is my journey. This is what I went through. This is what I'm doing. And, this is where you can buy my shit. So, man, I'm really happy about this. And, it's all about just making sure everybody get a chance to tell their story and eat. You know what I mean? Because I was looking on your social medias too. And the one thing when we spoke a couple of days ago, I was telling you about one of the things that I really like is how strong your social media game is. Like, you always, you forced me to step my social media game up. Like, I'm like, fuck, man, he out here killing on social media. Like, it's hard for me to be consistent on social media. So when I saw you was on social media, you was in, was it Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah, you was in Miami, and you ended up putting some more of your stuff in some stores in Miami.
Yeah,
how did that come about?
Man. Yo, it's so funny because, like I said, like, just on the journey, man, like, just things always present themselves.
Yeah.
And, like you were saying earlier, everybody eats, B.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, man. But so I pulled up in the store at the mall. It's called Sportive. I was talking to my guy because my boy Elliot, he was like, yo, man, these book bags cold, bro. You got to grab one of them Johns. It was like I think it was like streetwear bags. They real cold too, like quality, bomb, all of that.
Yeah, A1.
Yeah, bro. And I was like, because now that I have a brand and a business of my own, it's like I see things from a whole nother perspective. It's like, like I could tell what quality it is. I could tell how much it costs. Like, I could tell the general knowledge, and then also just understanding like where it came from, whether it's overseas, whether what I mean, like all of that different kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there talking to him. He was talking about these book bags. I'm like, yo, I bet you I can get that book bag for 75% cheaper than what they're selling it for.
Okay.
So I'm talking to him about that. Then we talk about, MSRP and, like we just talking. And one of the employees came over to me and he was like, yeah, man, you go on the website, you can see that for there too. I was like, yes, MSRP. You know what I mean? So when we was talking, he was talking about like, he has like a little business with like bands and stuff.
Okay.
So, I'm always going to support, one of the brothers.
Right,
so
absolutely.
I was going to support. And then he seen my clothes and he was like, yo, man, that's definitely dope. Because I had one of my cross bags on. And then I had a little fro boy John on with the joggers on. He was like, yo, that's definitely dope. My other boy, he had on one of my pink dad hats on, and then he had a cross bag. And he had some fire bronze, bro. It was all white. It was pink, white, and black. It was fire, bro, and it just matched like flush. He was like, yo, what's that y'all wearing? You know what I'm saying? I told him that's my brand, you know what I mean? And then he was like, yeah, bro, this dope. You might want to talk to the owner. So then I pull up to the owner, and then he was like thrilled. He's like, yo, this is really nice. This is dope. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, you know how it is, bro. Like, so
you had brought some of your materials down there already.
I'm getting to it.
Okay. So, go ahead. Yeah.
Literally, I got nothing with me right now. I just got my lay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rocking the lay. And what happened was I happened to have merch in the back of my man whip.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, do you have any more of this? I would love to see it. Because he literally was looking through my phone, going on my social media. Like, this is awesome. This
like,
is
really
dope.
checking your shit
out.
out.
Right. So then I was like, oh, you know what? Y'all got some in the back of the whip. He said, yo, can you bring it? Boom. Showed him the stuff, bro. He was like, I need this, bro. He made an order for 63 things. 63. Yeah. And it's growing. He was like, I got 3 stores. I want to take these 63 items and I want to put them in my store. I actually talked to him today. Yeah. He's excited for it. And the store is called Sportive, and it's the Sandgross Mall. Okay. Sawgrass Mall. And, you know, he got a location in Miami. He got one in Fort Lauderdale. And I forget where the other one is. But this is like the main mall. And, you know, he sells some fire sneaks too. You know what I'm saying? I got my shell tops from him. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead and cop some material while you was down there.
Yeah, facts, man. Yeah. But that's how it happened, bro. And then, like, the funny part about it is, like, after he, you know, made his big order for his merch and stuff, I'm like, oh, man, look, I got it. Yo, bro, I got to take this stuff back to the whip. So we in the mall. I'm carrying a box going back to the whip. Yeah. Buddy was like, hey, yo, what's in the box, man? And I'm like, all right, you can check it out. Boom, boom. And then, like 4 or 5 people was like, yeah, what's in the box? So they just start coming.
So they really coming for it.
Yeah, bro. They started grabbing merch left and right. And, you know, earlier, like I was telling you, bro, like I was just scrolling on Instagram and I seen the buddy with the shirt on. So, you know, it's just been growing, man. But, you know, I say this all of the time because, like, I don't want people to think that it's not about the money to me. You know what I mean? It's more so about understanding the meaning behind the brand. And it's really like, I call it, I laugh about it a lot, but I'm kind of serious about it. I call it like a little secret society. And I say a secret society because it's like, if you understand the meaning of the brand and you see somebody wearing it, it's like, oh, they're a dream chaser or they're a go-getter. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you know what I'm saying? If you understand that, you like, oh, all right, this person a go-getter. Boom. And it's a like-minded person. So then you had that conversation and it's like, oh, well, what can I do to help you or blah, blah, blah. Like, and it just grow. Like, you know, incorporate yourself into your life, you know, incorporate yourself into everybody's life. Because like I said, you know, it's like life is, it's a journey, you know what I'm saying? And people just, you meet different people on that journey, and that's just kind of how it was, bro. And I've developed a good relationship with him, and his name's Yusuf, by the way. Shout out Yusuf. Okay, shout out Yusuf.
That's what's up, man. And you know, it's crazy. I was watching a while back. I was watching a video on Bernie Mac. Rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
R.I.P.
Yeah, but I was watching a clip on Bernie Mac, and Bernie Mac was talking about obtaining success. And the one thing that Bernie Mac was talking about was he was like, don't do it for the money.
Facts.
You know, he's like, money always going to be there. It's going to come and go. He was like, do it because you love it. He was like, if you do it for the love of it, like, the money going to come. But if you're doing it for the money, then, you know, you're going to do some shit for anything and end up regretting it. So, you know, Bernie Mac really emphasized on that about not doing shit for the money and doing it really because this is what you love to do. Because if you do it for what you love, then, you know, the money going to come. Right. You know what I mean? So with your brand, like, you really mainly focused on the mission statement versus the money itself. You know what I mean? And so far, you know, it's been holding true. Like, you know, I see you been eating. I see people buying shit. I buy your shit. Like, you know, my wife buy your shit. Like, you putting your shit in stores. You also got your shit in a couple stores in Green Bay too. Yeah, I almost forgot about that. You got a couple in Green Bay too.
So I'm still working with Playground right now. It's just he kind of got to get a little bit more space. Shout out Playground. Trending topic. Throw a couple things in there. I'm still gonna work on more. Yeah. It's just right now, you know how it is, bro. Like, I don't want to throw everything in there. It's kind of like a piece by piece kind of thing. So do a couple T-shirts, couple hats. Probably gonna get more in the next coming days. But I just wanted to kind of throw throw a little bone out there, you know, see kind of how it move around, and then just pile more on it, you know. So that's kind of what I was doing. But yeah, man, definitely like. Shoot, not even just here, you know, working on Appleton too. Shout out Envy too. Make sure y'all check out Envy. I have some stuff in there too real soon.
Yeah, hey, definitely shout out Trending Topic and Envy. Both them cats are Trending Topic, and definitely my guy on Envy. Real good dudes, man. Definitely plan on getting him on here too. So definitely shout out to them. I bought shit out at Trending Topic just to show support and let them know I was for real.
Right.
You know, about having them on the podcast and this app that I'm developing and stuff like that. But I bought, you know, a few things out of their shit, you know, just to let people, and I'll do that. Like, I'll buy some shit just to, like, when I'm doing business with somebody, you know what I mean? Or I got a service that I think I can offer them, or there's some shit I want them to be a part of. If they got a product that they selling, I'll buy some shit just to let them know I'm for real. Like, you know, people always complaining, with Trending Topic, they always complaining about, you know, the prices of the shoes, but it's like, that don't make no fucking sense, because if you go on StockX, they hitting you in your head for you know, an extra $100 more than what they doing. Facts. Like, so no matter where you go, you gonna charge an arm and a leg, but motherfuckers want to complain about Trending Topic when it's like, it don't matter where you go, that's gonna be the price. So that's not nothing out of the ordinary, you know what I mean? Right. So, you know, I've bought a couple pair of $300 plus shoes for them, but you know, just to let them know, look, I'm for real and I'm sincere about what I'm talking about. Right. Let's do some business. Like, you know, I don't mind dropping no bread. Like, there was a time, like, when I first went in Trending Topic, I was looking for some shoes to buy my fiance in. I had bought like a size too small, so I came back and I'm like, yo, I said, listen, I'm like, I really don't want to get my money back. I said, I really just want to see if we can find a different size. Right. You know what I mean? And they really appreciated it. They was like, you know, man, and not that they needed my bread. Like, they eating, you know, let me be real clear about, like, Trending Topic is eating. Like, they don't need my bread.
Delicioso.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, they really doing good. But I think from them, it was just the appreciation of, like, you know, you're really trying to buy some shit. Like, you ain't in here trying to just, okay, this don't work, return it. And they was like, you know, we appreciate that. You know, because I be for real, like, you know, and especially when it comes to my people, I'm always trying to support. So, you know, man, like I said, huge shout out to Trending Topic, because, you know, they doing some good shit, and that's like the first legit store like that with that type of quality.
Facts. And another thing, bro, is like, I feel like people don't understand, like, the value of, like merch or like sneakers. Like, it's a lot of work that goes into it. Like, some people might look at something like, yo, why does this cost this much? But you gotta understand, like, just the quality of that fabric or that cloth or that sneaker, like, it comes from somewhere, you know, and you don't want to get something that, you know, you wash and then it's like baking color, like, you know, little stuff like that, bro. Like, it, like, to be real with you, like, it costs, you know, so you gotta pay it because it's quality and it's going to benefit you for the longevity of time. It's not something that, you know, like, people put their thought into that stuff. So, you know, if you trying to get, like, let's say a shirt was like $40, bro, like, the shirt wholesale probably like $20, and they probably putting their stuff on there too. And I mean, that take time, so they trying to get their little profit too, you know what I mean? Like, people don't think about that stuff, you know, and everybody want quality, but nobody want to pay for quality.
Man, that's the biggest thing. Like, don't nobody want to pay for that shit. Like, and they think that shit is all sweet. Like, yo, if it's in the store, then, you know, why is it this much? And it's like, well, first of all, you don't know how much it costs to get this shit, or if they going through a third party, like, they got to pay their due diligence too in order to get the shit to their store or whatever connect that they got. And it's not just them. Like, that's just how it work. Like, you know, whenever any product, it ain't even just shoes or, you know, any product, you got to pay for that shit. You got to pay for the materials. You got to pay for the cost and the labor. You know what I mean? Because when I first did my first Brand Superior League, when I first did this, I learned real quick, like, yo, it's just not as sweet as like going up to that bitch, yo, I want this, put this on there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's labor and cost. Then you got to worry about size. And, okay, well, we could do this, but, like, is this really, you know, effective, or is it cost effective? You know what I mean? So it was just a whole bunch of shit that I had to figure out, but I learned through trial and error. Right. You know what I mean? Hey, shout out my guy, Chris McKeefe, by the way, too.
Shout out. Hey, Tundra.
All right. Shout out my guy, man. So it was just shit that I learned the hard way. And that's why, like, when I go into a spot like Trending Topic, you know what I mean, that all these other fucking people complain about the price, I got an appreciation for it, because I understand the grind and I understand how this shit operate. Like, you know, they got to pay their due diligence in order to get the shit there, so you got to pay for the materials too. You know what I mean? So it's just shit that consumers don't always get, but they'll go online and fucking pay damn near double and a brag about it.
And incorporate the shipping.
Right, you know what I mean? Pay extra $12, $20 for the shipping and shit, and a brag about how much it costs, but you'll walk your ass in like a Spotlight trending topic and complain about the shit. Like, that's the shit that bugs me. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just shit that people don't understand that, you know.
Hey, you know what's dope, bro? You just made me think, like, you know, if I want y'all to really, really listen to this, like, if your homie got something going, or he or she got something they trying to chase, yo, like, support them, yo, because at the end of the day, like, they doing this because it's their passion. Like, push them towards that. Like, you know, when I was a young boy back on the block, like, I used to see, like, people in the corner, like, hustling waters and stuff like that. And they'd be charging $1 for their waters. And people would drive right by them, pull up to the corner store, the Poppy Boy store, pay $3 for that same water that they could have got for $1. It's like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, support your brother. Like, support, you know what I mean? Because people don't think about that stuff. Like, yo, it take guts to even do that, you know? Like, and that's one of the things that, like, people don't see, or it goes very, very unappreciated. So, you know, always support somebody. Like, if anybody got a goal, like, that's their goal. It might be like their blessing. Just because you can't see their blessing doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for them. Like, promote them, because at the end of the day, like, it's going to come back to you.
Facts, and I'm glad you brought that up, actually, E, because I remember seeing this video. It kind of caused a little fuss when Meek Mill was in I think it's in Atlanta. And it was like you know, a bunch of young black boys, and they were selling water. Right. And he ran up and he gave, it was like a group of, it was probably like 9, 10 of them, I think. Don't quote me. I think it was like 9, 10 of them. Yeah, I think. And he gave him like
$20.
Yeah, $20, and he was like, "Yo, split that." And it was what bothered me was more so the people who were saying the comments of like, "Well, yo, like, no, because if you give them, you know, quote unquote, like a bunch of money for it, then that's gonna make them work harder." And it's like, no. The job and the goal is to make it easier, not to make it harder.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm not knocking Meek Mill and nothing like that, but it's like, at the end of the day, like, if that was me, you know, I might fuck around and get 50 or 100 ball, and I've done it before. Right. You know, especially when it comes to my people. Like, I'm overly generous when it comes to my people. So, you know, I would have really plugged in, because at the end of the day, like you said, like, that take courage to go up to a motherfucker and try and hustle for some shit that you're trying to sell. You know what I mean? Like, it really do. It take you to get rid of your pride. So, for me, it's like, people need to understand, like, fuck all of the, you know, don't do this or give this amount because you want them to work harder. No, the goal is to make it easier for them to get to the goal. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that just comes back to, you know, supporting one another. Because I remember, like, when the first piece of material I bought from you, you know, you was real thankful and stuff, like, you know, hey, you know, thanks for helping out. Like, you know, I'll throw you this, you know, instead of charging you this price. And I was like, yo, like, you know, I'm here to support, like, just whatever price it is, let me know and I'll pay for that. Because I don't ever want to devalue the black dollar, like, and that was my biggest thing. Like, I'm here to support you, and I mean that. And if I'm really gonna support you, then that means paying for it instead of being like, yo, E, like, you know, remember that resource I hooked you up with? Like, let me get this for the free. You know what I mean? Like, and plenty of cats that do that shit. Like, man, I remember back in the day. I remember when you like, nah, like, if you really fuck with me, nah, like, hey, you my motherfucking mans. So if I'm going to support you like I say I'm going to support you, then that means I'm actually going to spend my money. Oh, shit, my bad, y'all. I didn't fuck that little mic. Hey, I'm going to have to edit. I'm going to have to work on that on the damn editing. But it's like, if I fuck with you and I want to support you, I'm going to spend that money.
I feel that.
Whatever price, because you my mans. Because a lot of motherfuckers have no issue walking inside a white store like Nike or Foot Locker or some shit like that and paying $40, $50 for a fucking t-shirt, but then you'll have some actually fire good quality shit, and then they come into you like, hey man, let me get this for 20 off. Like, that shit bugs me, yo. Like, so it's like, for me, like, if we gonna support one another, that means support, which means we need that dollar. And don't try and have me get a discount. Like, whatever the fuck I'm setting this at, if you my man's, like, buy that shit. I remember I saw an interview. I swear to God, it was Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, and Drake. And Drake was, mind you, these motherfuckers 100 million. Like, they got facts. And Drake was like, yeah, Weezy, like, let me get some of that free truck fit. And Wayne was like, nah, motherfucker, like, if you want to support, you go buy truck fit. Like, and that's just some real shit. Like,
Right, no, he right.
yeah, no, go buy truck fit, motherfucker. Like, no, like, go buy it if you want it, because you got it. Support me. You know what I mean? So that's just some real shit. Like, you know, buy that shit, support your mans, because at the end of the day, like, if I eat and you my mans, we all gonna eat. But you gotta help me get to that point first. You know what I mean? So once again, even with the platform, man, it's just about getting people shit out there and, you know, helping people eat, man. And, you know, like I said, man, you kind of come from the trenches. Like, you from Philly. Like, I know there were some hardships that you really came through. Like, because when we was speaking when we first met at the Bar East, I think it was, you were telling me about some of the therapy and stuff that you was going through from some of the traumas that you dealt with as a kid. What gave you the courage to go through therapy? Because that's like when we're talking about therapy and stuff like that, like especially in the black community, like that's like taboo,
right?
You know what I mean? A lot of us need that shit. So what gave you the courage to be like, I need this, I'm finna go through with this therapy and really seek that out?
I mean, just holding myself accountable.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like there were some questions and some things that I wanted answers from, and I wasn't able to get those answers. You know, like, cause you know, I feel like we as people, we go through things, but sometimes we don't want to face them.
Yeah.
You know, and in order for me to be able to face those, you know, those things that I experienced, I had to confront, you know, myself. And in order to confront myself, I felt like therapy was the best opportunity for that.
Right.
Because I was able to put everything in front of me, write it down, you know, visualize it. Because one of the things that a lot of people hate to do is like remember traumas. You know, and
yeah, absolutely.
That just having to, you know, go back to those traumas and those things that you experience, it triggers you. Like, a lot of people don't realize that you are a product of your childhood.
Yeah,
you know, your childhood literally makes up like a lot of who we are today, and just going through those hardships as a kid, and you know, struggling with my mom and my sisters and my brothers and all of that stuff. Like, you know, life was hard. You know. Just looking back on those things, you know, I took the pain and the struggle, and I turned it into the pride and the joy of today.
You're right.
You know, like, I wouldn't take anything back, you know, because those things I experienced allowed me to be the person I am today. You know, just being able to sit in front of them and be like, okay, well, yeah, you know, you struggled growing up. You know, your dad wasn't always around, but I love my dad. You know, we got a good relationship now. You know, my mom, she did the best that she could. And as a child, you know, eating certain meals and certain days and stuff like that, I mean, shoot, I thought that was cool. Shoot, I used to think it was cool eating ramen noodles at night, you know what I'm saying? Like, hot dogs and baked beans. No, like, you know how it is, bro. Hey, yo, drinking juice out of jelly jars. You know how it is, bro.
I still eat that shit to this day. Like, I still run to the festival, get a little ramen pack shit, and get the little beef, mix that bitch in
hot sauce, maybe chop some chips up.
Stop playing, man. Put some hot dogs. Stop playing. I'm still now, and the wife would get on me about that shit. Like, stop eating that bullshit. As soon as you go to sleep, I'm banging that shit. Man. But yeah, man, it's real shit though.
But you know how it is, though, bro. But like, as kids, bro, we thought that was the life. You know what I mean? But you know, as we grow older, like, all right, yo, I ain't got to use a hanger to get connection to the TV no more. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like all of that stuff, it made me realize how powerful we as people are.
Yeah.
You know, like, when you realize, like, you can overcome things that, you know, have brought you into a certain mindset or a mentality, it's like, yo, I don't know, I don't fear that no more. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm strong because of you.
Facts.
And then you hold that, and then you just bring it with you. Like, and the thing about it is, it's like, some people are scared to carry that baggage with them. But it's like, when you realize, like, what you went through, and you could put everything into its place. Yeah. It's almost like a puzzle. It's like, when you putting the pieces of the puzzle together, it's painful, it takes time, and it's annoying. But when that puzzle is put together, you see the vision. You got the whole picture right there. Yeah. And now you know, so now you can move on to the next project, because, you know, life goes on. And that's what therapy was able to help me do. It made me realize more of myself. Yeah. You know, nobody's perfect by any means. It made me realize my faults. It made me realize my strengths, and it made me realize my weaknesses. And the best thing that I personally feel out of everything is like knowing yourself is super important.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
like if you know yourself and you love yourself,
Yeah.
you don't worry about nobody else. Like, and I'm not saying that to be like selfish, but I'm saying it to say like your self-worth.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not arrogance, it's confidence. And like confidence is just believing in who you are and believing in that you can do whatever you put your mind to, and you know, regardless of naysayers or people, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know people's true intentions, but if you know your own intentions,
Facts.
you know where you going.
Yep. Yeah, and
Shout out to Debbie. I don't know if
yeah, there's a lot of truth to that because you know, for me, I'm always about what somebody's intent is. You know what I mean? And over 90% of the moves I make is all based off of my intent. Meaning, like, if I help you out, was my intentions in the right place?
Right.
Even if it was the right thing to do, I'm not gonna do something if my intentions ain't in the right place. Like, meaning, if I'm only helping you for some selfish gain or some bullshit that's gonna get me to where the fuck I'm trying to get to. It ain't even really about you, but the only way I can get this bullshit that I'm trying to get to is by helping you in a certain way. Right. So I won't do it. So the one thing I always check is my intent. You know what I mean? What is my intent? Is my intentions in the right place? You know what I mean? And then I move from there. You know what I mean? So that comes also down, like you said, knowing yourself.
Right.
Like for me, I remember I was talking to my fiance's mother not too long ago, and we was talking about like people lying and shit. And the one thing I told her was, you know, with me, like I've never lied to my fiance, because the one thing that I always make sure I don't do is put myself in a position to where I have to lie.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I always make sure my intentions are in the right place. So no, I don't have to lie to her, because if I know I'm about to put myself in a position where I'm going to have to, that's the shit I stay away from.
Right.
Or when I do something for anybody, it's like, am I doing this because I genuinely want the best reaction out of them, or do I want the world to see this? And that's the real reaction that I want. Right. You know, so a lot of shit I do, I won't even post it because it's about my intentions. Like, even for a second, if I feel like, damn, I wonder how many likes I'm going to get, I won't even post it now. Right. And I'll just do that. So for me, it's really about the intent, man. Like, if I fuck with you, or like, I meet people with high energy all the time. Right. You know what I mean? Like, every time I see, yo, E-man, was good? Like, how you feeling?
But you got my 40, homie.
Yeah, like, what's good? So I'm always, you know, my intentions are always in the right place. So, but that's because I know myself and I know my self-worth. So, you know, I think that's critical too. Like, you got to know your self-worth. Facts. You got to know who you is, and, you know, where your intentions at. So that's how I move all the time. Like, you know, and it's all based off my intent. You know, I think that shit's priceless, man. So at the end of the day, when I do that, I feel like, you know, all that good karma I spent up doing that shit all those years is coming back now. You know, and I'm still trying to do that now. You know, let's get the brand out there. Let's get people in.
Facts, bro.
Get people to tell their story, because like I always wanted to tell my, like, just like many other people before me, like I always wanted to go on the Breakfast Club and all these other major platforms and tell my story. Right? But it's like, how do I get there? So I said, fuck it. I'm going to create my own shit.
Bring it to you, boy.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell my own story. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. And that's what I did. Like, I created my own shit. Right. So at the end of the day, it's about my intent. Like, I know my self-worth, and I feel like I got a story that needs to be heard. So I agree with you, man. Self-worth, man, and knowing who you are, like, that shit's priceless. Like, you can't put a tag on that.
Facts. Hey, that honest thing, man, you hit a key right there, man, because I mean, shoot, I ain't perfect, man. I was dishonest in a bunch of different areas, man. But, you know, I appreciate that dishonesty, because it made me realize, like, yo, all right, you messing up here. You doing this. Like, yo, how you moving, you know? And you learn, you know what I'm saying? So from my experiences, like, I've learned from that, you know? So I definitely, you know, thankful for that, you know? Like, because, you know, from those experiences, it brings more of a revelation to yourself, because a lot of people, they scared to check themselves, and sometimes you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So
yep, absolutely, man. So brands blowing up, you know, you went through a lot of shit in your life that got you to this point. Where can people find a brand now? Like, where can we find and buy Life Love Inc. Incorporated? Where can we find this shit at? Because people trying to get, I swear to God, I be having people in my fucking DMs like, yo, that's dope. Like, where did you get it from? And I just send their ass straight to your IG. Like, so where can we find this shit? Where can we buy it?
I mean, keep it a buck with y'all. I do got a website, you know what I'm saying? It just got so many items, man. It takes time, and I'm not making an excuse. I just want y'all to understand, like, yo, it's a lot of stuff, and I've been getting sales through Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all social media platforms, man. And you know what? It goes to show how beautiful the world is that we live in today, because it's just like you literally like probably 3 people away from knowing everybody in the world, you know? And I don't think people see that. Like, literally, I haven't used my website once, and I already shipped to 40 states, Ukraine and Brazil. You know what I mean? And it's just growing. So literally just hit me up on social media. I get it to you, you know? Like I said, you know, literally just, it's just been a beautiful thing, just how it's been growing the way that it has been. And I know that the moment I dropped that website, oh my goodness. Yeah,
man, yo, shit, you might break the internet.
I'm prepping for that, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm prepping for everything. Like, basically, you know how it is, the business perspective. I want to make sure I have everything aligned, like, you know, because I don't want it to be like, yo, I just only got like 30 of these Jones, and then the moment, boom, 30 Jones gone, and people, yo, like, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot to go into, and then I feel like a lot of people, you know, nowadays they're instantaneous. Like, yo, all right, I see this, I want it, I need that Jones now. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to have everything aligned so that everybody can have their, you know, their needs met, you know, expeditiously. So, you know, me being one person, you know, I can only do so much, but shout out to Chris again, you know what I'm saying? Because he kind of gave me the ropes and everything to kind of orchestrate and everything the right way. And Justin, too, man. I ain't forget about you. Oh, and Nate, you know what I'm saying? I know you probably like, yo, what's up? Where my name at? So I got you. But yeah, man, like all of those dudes, man, that's my team right there, you know what I'm saying? If y'all look at my social media story, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, I'm pulling up at the manufacturer or the lab. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I go, man. And, you know, like you were saying, like, those relationships that you build with people is huge. Yeah. So, yeah, man, like, literally, social media, just hit me up. You know, I'm going to release the website soon.
What's the IG name? What's the main IG or Facebook, Twitter, Snap? What's the main ones where we can mainly get a hold of the brand? What's the main ones where we can buy this shit? We need to buy this shit. Where can we buy this shit?
Life Love Inc. brand, or at Life Love Inc. brand on Instagram, is where you can obtain the merch, you know, and it's literally a store page. So it has all of, like, many of the designs I've created. And most people, they'll go through there, they'll look at everything, and then they'll screenshot and they'll message me, hey, yo, what's up with this? Or they'll send me the name, and then they'll ask for a size, and they'll make their order, and then I just get it right to them, send them shipping and everything, and boom, you can either pay for like Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, you know, everything kind of going digital. So, you know, I kind of jumped ahead of the curve. But yeah, that's where you can get the merch. And another thing that I did that was pretty unique was I made another page. It's like a fan page. So it's Life Love Inc. brand. So it's Life_Love_Incorporated. My fault. Fix that.
That's the IG where people can buy the.
No, people buy stuff at Life Love Inc. brand.
Okay.
So that page is where you can purchase merch, but the fan page is Life_Love_Incorporated. So what I like to do is, because you know, like how I like to incorporate everybody in there. Yeah. This is why I even created the page, because like that's the fan page. Whereas though when people wear the merch, they're tagging a brand. And then I'll take their picture and I'll post it on the brand page. You know, so it's a way of saying, hey, yo, check this person's stuff out. Boom, boom, boom. And then people might think, oh, that's dope. That's a dope picture. Oh, they in Miami, or are they in New York, or they there. I'm happy to be here. Oh, like, you know, you just linking up with different people, and it's giving you an opportunity to just talk to other people, you know, just like, oh, they're a dream chaser, they this, they that. Like, let's say somebody like a doctor, and they like, yo, I support the brand. Oh, but now they meet like somebody that runs their own facility. Oh, I run a facility, boom, and now you got a job. You know, like, I'm trying to incorporate everybody together, and that's really what I was trying to do with the fan page, you know. So, and make it fun too, do little raffles and little stuff here and there and stuff like that. So keep it interesting.
All right, man. I see, man, my guy out here doing big things, man. He definitely want to support other people, get more brands out there. Don't forget, go buy the shit. You can find them on IG. We can find him on Facebook too.
Facebook too. That's just Life Love Incorporated.
Yep, Life Love Incorporated on Facebook. Snap, no?
Snap, Life Love Inc.
Yep, so all of them, man. Snap, IG, Facebook. Go get his shit. Life Love Inc. Man Incorporated. Go buy it. If you ain't got it, you fucking late. Go get it. And stop fucking around. I don't know how many pieces of his shit I got. I done bought so much shit. And it ain't gonna stop, man. So
I bet that boy got a section in his closet.
I'm telling you, man, I work every time. The wife be like, "Ooh, that shit looks cute." I already know. Now I gotta go buy this shit. So, man, he doing some good shit. Materials dope, man. Be on the lookout, man. Glad you came up here. This definitely ain't gonna be the last time. We definitely gonna have you up here again. I know you're gonna have some more shit to say, more moves you're making, man. So, man, my guy Erick Brundidge, man, another episode of Tevin Talks. Appreciate you coming up here, man. Tevin Talks, Life Love Inc. Incorporated. If you ain't know, you know now.
Remember,
look with it.
Live life, love life, incorporate yourself into your life because you matter. Join the movement. Salute.
All right, y'all be easy.